We are back with the rest of the games, and we're going to get right into it. We're going to go Dolphins and Commanders. Dolphins destroying the Commanders 45-15. Tua looked pretty damn good in this game, obviously connecting with Hill, who's on pace for over 2,000 yards. You think he's going to break this record or what?
As long as he stays healthy, yes.
No.
I believe he will. Yes.
No for me.
You cannot deny Tyreek Hill. And you know who's back? My boy, Devon Achane.
H-Chan.
I know, but I say Achane still. 17 carries, 73 yards, 2 touchdowns. Devon Achane.
Don't forget about them three catches for 30 yards as well.
He is Himothy, man. As long as he can stay healthy because he's so small, he's literally elite. And the offense is just so much better with him. It's so much harder to stop. Frees up Waddle a little bit, frees up Tyreek, gives Mostert some spell. It's incredible.
Now, how do we view Mostert going forward?
He's still gonna be fine. The thing is
he touchdown dependent?
Yes.
Yeah, he is, but he's gonna get the touchdowns regardless.
Yeah.
Always. And the thing is, all the games that he's played with Devon, when Devon Achane's in, he's scored over double digits every single one of them.
He always gets a touchdown.
Do not be worried about Mostert. He's still set it and forget it lineup lock.
Now, at this point, especially with Achane back in, and there's so much talent around, Hill just hogging up all the targets. Is Waddle even?
Waddle definitely
wide
takes a
receiver
step
3?
back. He takes a step back.
Yeah, for sure.
He's about wide receiver 3. I'm not in love with Waddle without him. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, the problem is also you have too many home run threats now. Now that you add Achane, whatever you want to call him, him and Tyreek Hill just are always gonna get theirs, and then Mostert has a high likely chance to score a touchdown. It's not looking pretty for him. Tua gets a boost though.
Yeah, he does, because with so many weapons, you just have to prepare for anything, which opens up the field.
He does a little shovel pass to one of them, and they take it. It's insane, so we'll see. Other side of things, Sam Howell just consistent in terms of fantasy. Everybody else, man, they're just running cardio out there
Well, Howell didn't have a great game in this one, and Terry McLaurin completely shut out, which is terrible if you ask him.
And notable, Brian Robinson injured his hamstring. Does that mean a case for Antonio Gibson show?
I think it's going to be Chris Rodriguez with Gibson. I think it's going to be a split because, even in this game, he had 7 as opposed to 10
for
carries for Gibson. Yeah.
And what happened to Terry McLaurin?
Yeah, we were just talking about that. He's just getting cardio, and he didn't feel like they didn't feel like he was.
Sam Howell only had 12 completions with 127 yards. So
it's tough right there. But, I don't know. Sam Howell did it on the ground for you in fantasy if you had him.
I would say going forward, though, obviously you could still start McLaurin, but obviously this game's a concern.
Mm-hmm.
But, you can still start him. Dotson, you can't start. Samuel continues to, just do okay if you need, a streaming option. He just seems to put up, 10 fantasy points every game for no reason.
And I hope you were tapped in with us. We told you guys a few weeks ago, pick up the Dolphins' defense. They have a very easy matchups for the next, 3 or 4 games, and they've been producing. Against the Jets, they had the touchdown. I think it was 19 points. Then this past game, they have over 13 points. They're just cooking. They have another good matchup. Better days ahead for Dolphins defense.
And I would say, if Chris Rodriguez is available, he's definitely someone you could pick up and plug into the lineup with all these injuries. So next game we're going to talk about is the Buccaneers, who beat the Panthers 21-18. What do you guys think about this game?
The biggest takeaway that people aren't realizing is over the last, I think it's 5 or 6 weeks, Rachaad White is the number 1 scoring fantasy running back in fantasy. Let me repeat that again. Rachaad White. Not Christian McCaffrey, not Bijan, not the Ecklers. It's Rachaad White. 20 carries, 84 yards, a touchdown, and he had 3 catches for 22 yards.
And you know what? I think it's been since week 7 that he completely took over. Yeah. And this is actually one of his lower receiving games. Yeah. Usually he catches more, but this time got it done on the ground. He's honestly great. I'd rather have him over Eckler.
Then at this point in time, I have to just say, is Mike Evans a top 15 receiver of all time? Top 10? He's had 1,000 yards in his career every single year for 10 years now.
And besides all of that, what did the late great was it Manny Rodriguez or was it Pedro Martinez? I think it was Pedro Martinez said the Yankees are my daddy. He owns the Carolina Panthers. What do you have last year? 4 touchdowns against them in the fantasy playoffs? Like, he just, every year, like, you thought we were skated by, we were barely beating JV, and then Mike Evans happens, so I look down, he's 25 points. He's just a ball.
Yeah, he's been an absolute beast, and you know who's not a beast? Chris Godwin. He's completely overshadowed by Mike Evans this whole entire year.
Yeah.
Well, he limped into this week, but yeah, Baker just loves Mike Evans. Mike Evans is playing like a dog. It's just Rashad White, Mike Evans.
And on the other side of the ball, I mean, I was surprised how well Chuba Hubbard played. I mean, 100 yards on 25 carries and 2 touchdowns.
He's like the only one fantasy relevant at all right now. Adam Thielen has gone back to the shadow realm. He had a good run the first half of the season, and now you got to put him on the bench at this point. You cannot with the last week coming up before playoffs, and I know most leagues everyone's neck and neck. You got to go with a different option at this point.
Yeah, if you have a better option.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys think Jonathan Mingo is worth the stash at this point?
He's worth the stash. He had 10 targets, and they're always going to be down. But I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable starting him. But in deeper leagues, yeah, he's.
I mean, the last 129 yards of those past 2 games. I mean, that's something to hold your hat on. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So next game, we're looking at the Rams, who scored 36 points and won the game against the Browns, who scored 19.
Yeah.
And even though they lost, I mean, Joe Flacco,
The Flaxer, man, he
38 years old.
Yeah, the offense looks so much better with Joe Flacco as opposed to DTR and PJ Walker.
Joe Douglas, where the fuck were you looking at, man? You could have easily had Joe Flacco for free. Played on the team last year, and you bring in Trevor Siemian over him? What are we talking about?
Yeah,
Sorry.
but Joe Flacco looked good, and you know who's back to being fantasy relevant now is Elijah Moore.
Led the
12
league
targets.
in air yards yesterday.
12 targets. He only caught 4 of them, which is a little disappointing, but had 83 yards as well.
I think if Cooper remains out, I mean, Moore's a good wide receiver 3 play.
Yeah, he's a flex play for sure. Jerome Ford just consistently consistent. He had another solid day. 3 for 33 in the receiving game and a touchdown, and he had 9 carries. For
Now let's talk about the main event. Puka Nacua.
The Pookster.
The Pookster. People said he
Pookster.
sucked. He fell off.
He's not that good. This, that, and the third.
The boy was running away with the game.
Yep.
And he was hurt. He kept coming off the field. He only ran
did.
51% of the routes, 61% of the snaps.
Sure did.
Didn't matter.
Doesn't
And
matter.
you know what? He could have had more. Matt Stafford overthrew him on a touchdown. A dumb penalty called back for the rushing yard for like 40-something yard rush attempt. Another touchdown he could have got. It was just a spectacle. Puka owned the Browns, and they're the best. They're graded out the best against best against wide receivers, and he just dominated.
Yeah. Cooper Kupp got on the board. 6 catches for 39 yards and a touchdown, and Demarcus Robinson came out of nowhere 4 for 55 and a touchdown. It was a great day. Kieran Williams had a great day as well.
That last second touchdown.
Yeah, 21 carries, 88 yards. I mean,
Do you guys know that Sean McVay has Kyron Williams on his fantasy team?
I should have known.
I mean, it all makes sense
It makes
now.
so
It's all
much sense.
adding
Like,
up
we'll
now.
cut Akers.
Yeah.
And give him every
Who
touchdown.
needs Cam Akers? So we'll see how going forward the Rams play the Ravens next week. So we will see. That's gonna be a tough matchup, but we'll see what goes.
Now, how do you rank Puka versus Cup like rest of the season?
Definitely
It's always Puka.
It's definitely
It's
Puka
been
first,
Puka.
but I don't know, man. My baby Cooper Kupp, I'm a little worried, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you have him, there's probably not a better option on your team
No.
unless you're in like some 10-man league where
Yeah.
no one knows anything.
Cooper
Exactly.
Kupp is flirting with wide receiver 3 range.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
I mean, that
undeniable.
touchdown saved him.
yeah.
And if he didn't get that
39
touchdown, it would have
yards
been,
is-
what, 3 games in a row?
39 yards is nothing, and that was with Puka coming on and off the field. Like, what are we talking? He's in wide receiver 3 range. It's not like 15 points is some monster
Right.
game. Like, we're happy he got that. That's not what last year we'd be pissed if Cooper Kupp put a 15.
What doesn't make sense, too, is as soon as he came back from the injury, he was vintage Cooper Cup. And
And
then
then
he
just
pulls
goes-
off after that?
Yeah, that's what it throws you off, threw him off the scent.
Yeah. So this was a surprising game. The 49ers and the Eagles. The 49ers killing the Eagles.
Came
42
into their
to 19.
own home and just spanked them.
So is Brock Purdy, is he the MVP of the NFL?
I wouldn't go that far.
He's
but
one of the favorites for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely
And
in the
he is the
conversation.
favorite.
And you know what? Me and Melvin in Superflex, we targeted Brock Purdy all off season long. I've been a Brock Purdy truther all off season up until now. Brock Purdy, per average, is he the top 4?
There's
quarterback?
on average, there's only 5 quarterbacks better than him.
Yeah, Brock Purdy's him, ladies and gentlemen. 314 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Let me throw out this stat. Brock Purdy is now officially a better fantasy player than Patrick Mahomes in season-long points.
Yes, he is.
And I'd rather have Brock Purdy rest of season than
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, which is
100%,
crazy.
100%.
Which makes Mahomes a bust, no?
Yes,
Yes,
100% bust. 100% bust. Mahomes he had 13 fantasy.
You draft Mahomes to be putting up in the high 20s to low 30s. He scratched that maybe like 2 or 3 times all season.
Yeah.
He's just not doing it this year. It's just what it is. But you know what's even more interesting? The 4 playmakers: Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. Christian McCaffrey's season-long pace is for 2,000 all-purpose yards. George Kittle's over 1,000 season-long pace. Deebo over 1,000. Brandon Ayuk over 1,000. They are all eating. Every single one of them. And Kittle might be getting the smallest of it, but still, for a tight end, 4 catches, 68 yards. Deebo went absolutely crazy.
Bananas.
4 catches, 116 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 3 rushing attempts for 22 yards and a touchdown. Brandon Ayuk, 5 catches, 46. It was just, there was holiday for them.
Yeah, they're all started. Locks in your lineup. I'm sure there's no one else you could have better than them. And the 49ers defense looked great too as well. Against,
Yeah, they did look
They
really,
were
really
getting
good.
after the Eagles. They didn't really get much going. The Eagles. Hurts had a solid day on stats wise, but if you actually watch the game, it wasn't that good. AJ Brown had a good day on fantasy. Devonta had a good day as well. We'll see what happens. Goddard should be back this next week.
He should be. He was doubtful going into this week.
Yeah.
They ruled him out kind of last minute, so you would think he's going to play this week.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, to be determined.
And then we'll see.
Jalen
don't know
Hurts,
what
a little
happened.
injury too.
Yeah, I don't know,
Concussion.
but I don't know what happened with DeAndre Swift this game. It's only six carries. What?
Well, you know what? They just didn't do well against the 49ers. They were trailing all game. They started airing it out.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts had 45 attempts.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't the right matchup for them.
And notable, DeAndre Swift took a humongous hit at the end of the 4th quarter. That's not really being reported as an injury, but
Well, he came back. I think that's why it's not.
I mean, he was checked out by the medical staff, but that doesn't mean, he's not going to be limping into the next game. So it's just something to think about.
And last but not least, we have the Chiefs who played the Packers, and the Packers winning 27-19.
What?
So is Jordan Love now like a top 10 QB because he's playing that way right now?
This is
Jordan
my
Love's
thing.
been good all
He's
year.
been good
though.
all year.
He did have that stretch though where
he
it was
had-
like, oh,
it was still
he's not Rodgers.
No,
he sucks.
that stretch.
That was
though,
in real life.
In real life, in fantasy, he was still putting up like 15 points a game.
Yeah.
Jordan Love has been good all year long. A little short of great. Jordan Love has been everything you needed and more this year. Like, you got him late, you maybe got him off waivers, and he's just been consistent. 267 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he just keeps doing it every single week in, week out. Aaron Jones or not, he's still doing it.
He's
Dobbs.
playing with a lot more confidence now, and he's way more comfortable. So now he's finally finding his rhythm, finding his receivers.
Watson's more involved now.
Well, Watson, almost was at this point because it looks like he suffered another hamstring injury.
You know
which
what?
seems
Who
to play
cares?
his
He
whole
went
career.
out as a hero. That's all we care about. 7 catches, 71 yards, and 2 touchdowns with 15 on the ground too. I will take that.
What does suck though is like I've been waiting for the Christian Watson breakout, and he looked healthy, and he looked like a beast.
A force, and now he's out
And
again.
now he's done again. So
So if you have Jaden Reed, you're feeling a lot better going into next week because now he's going to get even more volume. He didn't get too much volume, only 5 targets, no rush attempts, but next week he should get a lot more.
and AJ Dillon seemed like a decent play. Besides, if he would have had a touchdown, it would have been a great day. Overall. He's playing the Giants next week, so he's almost a must start next week.
Yeah, so we'll see.
What is going on with Travis Kelce though, guys?
He had 15 fantasy. It's
Only
because
5 targets though.
he gets doubled and triple teamed every single week.
I don't think he looks as good though. I think
Yeah,
he's
he
a little
doesn't.
banged
He's a
up,
little
a
bit
little
banged
slower.
up. He's a little older.
And you just have to
Weak at
think,
the knees from
you
Taylor.
have
Yeah.
to think, is he just checked out mentally as well? Like he's just like
He said, "I'm
like,
fucking rich.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
rich. I'm
yeah.
going
I
traveling
already
across the
did
world.
everything.
Why am I?
Yeah, why do I need to do
Yeah,
this?
like him mentioning retirement is a big deal to me. Like
Taylor's like, babe, you don't need to worry.
Yeah.
I got
I will
this.
support you. Sneaky guy though, not sneaky anymore, but Rashee Rice 8 for 64. Rashee Rice needs to get more volume as well. Him and Kelsey need to get all the volume. Everyone else, Sky Moore can't be on the field. It's just so frustrating.
They're really missing a playmaker in this offense right now.
They need one so bad. They should have signed one, traded for one, something, because their playmakers are just abysmal, man. Marquise Valdes-Scantling is a no-show every week in, week out. Like, everybody else, man, like, it's just frustrating to watch this offense, man.
Veach has got to be called in question. He had multiple opportunities to add someone. He just got lulled to sleep about how good Patrick Mahomes is. But like, eventually, you need somebody else to help out.
I mean, besides Pacheco and Kelsey, and Rice, like you can't really start Mahomes. Even though you drafted him like the third, fourth round, and it sounds crazy. I hope you have like a Jordan Love, a Brock Purdy, or someone like that on your bench at this point going forward.
Mm-hmm.
So that pretty much wraps it up for today. Thank you guys for listening, and please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and support us. We are the Fantasy Gurus, and we'll see you next time.